installing these floor pans, we came across some Bondo chipping up, so we're just gonna glaze over that real quick, pretend like we never saw it, do some touch-up paint, and then obviously these blue doors do not match the brown Jeep, so we're gonna get those color matched. And then to top it all off, we have a set of brand new 33-inch mud tires we're gonna throw on here. So hopefully by the end of this video, this Jeep is gonna sound as good as it looks. We're in a barn, living out my Days of Thunder dreams.
I'm gonna give you an engine.
This is not the oil we used for break-in when we rebuilt this engine and ran it for the first time, but it is the first oil since that. So there's only about 500-600 miles on here. Figured since the engine's good and warm right now, we'll change it, and we're pretty much at the correct miles. Let's see what we can find around here. Gonna go with the old hammer screwdriver method. Come on now. Got it. Hand tight. Valvoline VR1 10W30 for the flat tappets. Well, that just broke. Oh, wonderful. That one broke too. We're just doing a down and dirty scuff and shoot on these doors. I'm not even gonna pull the glass. We'll just disassemble them a little bit. I do have door cards back at the shop, but they are also blue. That'll be going back on. Take these outside and scuff them up a little bit. This ought to make a good workbench. I'm gonna hit it with some 180 grit first. It should be known how much this pains me to do because I love all the pinstriping on here. I like the rust. I like how it kind of faded and patinaed, but it's blue. Flip! The door is sanded and I got it masked off pretty decent. Just covered the wing window, some of the weather stripping, and then the glass. But this outer weather strip, not even worried about it. It'd probably crumble apart if I tried to take it off. So I'm gonna shoot a coat of paint on the inside first. Now the color of this Jeep is flat earth brown. It's like the camouflage Rust-Oleum. And then we'll wet sand it to give it this like kind of sheen almost. Kind of gets rid of the roughness. Now, this paint job's probably 10 years old, so it might not match perfect. It'll be kind of close. Light little dust coat first. Not bad. We'll let that coat dry for a little while. In the meantime, we'll break down this driver door. All right, that was quick. See how this is looking. I think I got enough paint where each side can take a whole can. One full can on there, and that ought to be enough. I was even able to do like a third and fourth coat on like the high touch areas, like where you're gonna have your arm and be reaching for the door handle. So that's drying, and I moved the prep bay over here. I'm gonna sand down this driver door. This gunk that's on here, I could probably take some time and get that off, but it hasn't bothered me yet, and I'm not gonna let it bother me now. Real quick though, to address the quality of work here. For one, I'm in a barn. Take a hint. Two, I only have doors on my Jeep in the wintertime, which is coming up. So like, I'm not really too worried about how they look. It's just that they're baby blue and the Jeep, you know, they're very different. I'm just trying to make it look a little bit same. Finish the masking on the driver door. Go check on this one. That ought to be about ready to flip. All right, full can on the outside. This door's done. All right, I gotta get moving here. This door was dry enough to put on the Jeep a while. It's definitely darker, but looks good. Now this driver door just needs painted. Take this over to the paint booth, throw a can of paint on each side, and get her back together. That side's done, just needs to dry. This ought to be dry enough to start taking the masking off, which is always fun. Sweet. And for the cherry on top, this door is ready to be put in service. Oh, yeah, the handle that broke, we'll have to fix that tomorrow when we're back at the shop, but we'll just have to use the master key here. Put Put that in the old pocket. This door is still really wet, but I was able to get it on. I'm back out of here real quick, losing light. Ah! Not bad. Those lines are because it's still wet. Don't worry. It's actually not terrible. I mean, it is the same color. Side looks real good. It's all buttoned back up. One more thing. For the door handles, I did get nice shiny new ones. The driver's side one was all crooked, but we're only doing the driver's side one. Passenger side will have to wait. Previously discussed. Ooh, sweet. But that is all the time we have here today. We'll have to finish the rest up at the shop tomorrow. We're back. Here's the tires. Hang in there. We're now gonna get started on some body work. Mainly this spot right here, which is the worst of it. As you can see, there's already some Bondo here. There's some bare metal showing that rusted over. A couple things. One, not a body man. I've never done body work. We're gonna wing it. Two, I'm not fixing every single spot. We'd be here a long time. There's a lot of cracks. Crack, 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 crack. Another one. Crack, 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 big crack, star, crack. You get it. We'd be here a long time, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm not even gonna attempt it and maybe even make it look worse. This one I might try and fix where I blasted through when I was welding. Might try and sand that down, a little bit of Bondo, but most of these cracks are not gonna get fixed. It's a Jeep, it gets scratched, hence the matte paint job. Pretty much, the plan is, from when I'm standing back here, I don't want the first thing to notice be that big old spot. So, let's see what I can do. First, I will try and smooth it out. This is 150 grit on a flat sanding block. And maybe just try and feather it out a little bit. I don't know. So, you can already see we got some high spots. We got some low spots. So mainly I just kind of want to try and taper these edges a little bit before we just cake Bondo on there. Now I'm going to use some 150 grit and just kind of knock down some of the surface rust. That's halfway decent. That's kind of clean. So real quick, I'm gonna dust some primer on here. Mainly because there's bare metal. Oh, come on. This is the only other thing I had. Adhesion promoter. Oh, it's clear. This is not going well. Oh man, I'm sorry that this is such a half-assed gig. Yeah, no comment. Got this here sander to kind of get that weld that's sticking out filed down. All right, grab our flat block again and maybe try and level this out. All right, I had this. This is probably better than that adhesion promoter. It's just weld through primer, but primer's primer, right? While that primer's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up some Bondo, which I've never done before. We're gonna do a 3-inch strip of this stuff, hardener, and a 3-inch diameter circle, 1/2-inch thick of filler. Probably that, I don't know. Way too much. Well, that's about right, I guess. And we're gonna mix all this up. Primer's dry, and we got our 100 grit again. Just scuff it up a little. Here goes nothing. Probably, literally. Ooh, okay. That's fun. For reference, that was all of it. I'm definitely gonna have to mix more up right now. All right, got more. Ooh, why is it so chunky? I messed something up. Oh God. Let's get this big one in here. This is kind of fun. It is so chunky. I sincerely apologize to all you body guys out there cringing at the sight of this. I feel a lot better about that batch. Just gotta learn the hard way. That's usually how it goes with me, unfortunately. I do feel like I am learning though, a little bit. We got our first layer kind of chunked up on there. I did what I could. I'm definitely learning a thing or two here and there. It looks like crap, but the first layer of it is on. Even though it says it only needs about like 15-20 minutes before you sand it, I'm gonna give it as much time as I possibly can. We'll come over here to the other side with really the only other spot I'm concerned with fixing, just because the paint chipped. And this is from, you can kind of just see where I was tack welding and it just melted the Bondo and made everything bubble up. So I'm gonna try and flatten this out with this flat sanding block. I don't really know how this is gonna turn out. I will reiterate yet again, not a body man. Well, the way this is looking over here after sanding it, I think I might just go right to touch-up paint since there's so many cracks over here anyway, and it's very wavy and inconsistent. If I tried putting Bondo in here, it would create a ridge here that I'd end up having to feather all the way up to the top, and then who knows how far down here to feather it out. This whole thing would just end up with Bondo. So it is relatively flat. I mean, for what it is. There is a couple pits here, really small stuff. I mean, it's not going to stick out compared to the rest of this. This is pretty caked up right here, and I feel like if I picked at this, it would end up looking like the other side. So I'm not even going to mess with it. I didn't even see that, actually. Wow, that just made all those cracks really obvious. Oh well. Back over here, this might seem ready to go. 100 grit, see if we can flatten it out. It's dusty. I'm very likely to regret this, but this is 40 grit, and we're gonna, yeah, see what happens. All right, that wasn't near as bad as I thought it'd be, and you can see right where all of our low spots are. So another round of filler on there. This one still feels kind of gummy. Got the second layer of Bondo curing on the back, and then I sanded down the first layer up here, and we do still have some low spots, so I'm gonna have to glaze that over again. Come around here to the other side. This paint dried, and it actually doesn't look too bad as far as the blend, like matching with the 10-year-old paint job. It's definitely bumpy and cracked and doesn't look that good, but good thing I'm more concerned with how this Jeep sounds than how it looks. That being said, I'm gonna rip off these wheels and tires real quick. I'm gonna summon the shop truck, and we're gonna load these up along with our brand new tires. That way, at some point tomorrow, I can get them mounted and balanced. That way, when we're done with body work, we'll be able to throw them on right away. These are 32 1150s coming off the Jeep, and I thought they looked fine until I put the hard top on, and then it just kind of changed all the proportions, and then they look too small. So that's why we're stepping up to the 33 12.5s, and I also wanted a mud tire because I don't have mud tires on anything else. It's either all-terrains or street tires. It was time. And white letters out, of course, for the classic. Fun fact about these tires, they've got 2004 date codes on them. They've been around 21 years. It's time. But the interesting thing is, like, the tread is great. They're good. There's like no dry rot. This Jeep has been garage kept since 2014, and the Suburban that these were on before that was always garage kept, so yeah. I'm not normally a Firestone guy, but I got these for a smoking deal. They got 2023 date codes on them, so they called them old, but it's only 2 years old. They were severely discounted, 200 bucks a piece. Maybe I am a Firestone guy now. All right, see you tomorrow. It's the next day. We got the wheels and tires done. They're in the back, looking real nice. That, I'm very excited now. So, back to the shop. All right. Yeah, man. Oh! Now we have 12 wides. Might be getting rid of them wheel spacers. Yeah, we'll definitely pull them spacers off. That is a little more aggressive than I prefer. Looks sweet though. All right, that's all you get. Back to body work. Here we go. Wow, that actually turned out really good. It's all pretty uniform. I think I'm done with Bondo here. I'm just gonna refine those scratches. Hit it with some 220 and we'll smooth it out. I'll finish it off with some 320 grit. It is completely smooth when I run my fingers across it. Man, this turned out way better than I thought it would. This back part is ready for paint. Now I just gotta finish these couple low spots right here. Fresh batch. Scoop. Gonna give that Bondo some time to set up before we sand it. Over here on the driver's side where we painted that spot, I'm gonna hit it with some 2500 grit wet sand and see if we can kind of get it to blend in. Right now in the lighting, you can kind of see the line where it's like really matte and then the original paint job. We'll be back, check that out once it's dry. Also, got our door handle mounted up. I actually just turned that so it'd be like parallel with the door and then ran 2 new screws instead of trying to mess with those broke off ones. Remember, the goal is from back here, not up there, back here. While we're waiting around, thank you for your service. Oh man, that actually looks right at home. It is a little scratchy looking, but I feel like if I had some like 4,000 grit instead of 2,500, it looked that much better. But for what we're after, matching that mess, that's like perfect. It is so nice having a carefree project. Highly recommend. I noticed the side pipe was moving around quite a bit. Looks like our mount broke, the weld, or actually the bracket itself. That ought to hold. This appears to be dry. Give it a rip. Body work complete. I got this front section sanded 3 steps like I did the back here. Let's prep for paint. Since we discovered on the other side that the wet sanding kind of works for touch up, I'm also gonna do a quick little coat here where the hardtop scratched it when I was putting it on. Not bad. Don't get any closer than that. Solid 10-footer. We gotta let this paint dry and then we're gonna wet sand it, but that really only leaves time to do one more thing. Let's mount up them wheels and tires. Next up on the CJ, we're doing a twin stick conversion to the Dana 20 transfer case. Take it easy.